Welcome to the show. You are one-on-one with Wes the Sports Guy here on YouTube and online all the time at westhesportsguy.com. Make sure you bookmark that site for all the previews that are coming in the very near future. And when I mean near future, I mean in the next day or so, you're going to see the NFL previews of all divisions, all the teams, Super Bowl prediction as well. Make sure you bookmark westhesportsguy.com. And as always, when you want to participate in the conversation every single week, use the hashtag #OneOnOneWes. And I will be perusing that on all social media platforms, be it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the social media platform of your choosing is these days. I'm most likely there, but you can best reach me at westhesportsguy.com and right here on the YouTube channel. Leave a comment, leave a like. I appreciate it all. I appreciate all of the discussions, no matter if it's controversial, no matter if it's just kind of, bandwagony, whatever you want to call it. I appreciate it all. Delving right into it, the big story that dropped just after the last episode that I posted last week, Andrew Luck of the Indianapolis Colts decided to hang up his cleats and be done with football forever. He just was going to turn 30 years old here, just as the season was going to get underway this year. It was a bit of a shock to a lot of people. Not shocking to myself, because I've seen players retire even younger than Andrew Luck's age. The only shock that I reiterated in the last post that I had about Andrew Luck retiring at westhesportsguy.com, you can check that out. That's the latest post there about his retirement. Is the only thing shocking to me about it was that his position. You don't see quarterbacks retiring at this age. You usually see them in their mid-30s to late 30s, maybe, 33s, 34, somewhere in that range, obviously, but you never see them just before they turn 30 years old decide to retire. You don't see this very often, especially someone as talented as Andrew Luck. That was the only shocking thing about this to me, was the position. And basically this is his choice. My point that I want to make is that Andrew Luck made the choice for himself. He's not making it based off of what the team was doing or anything like that. Sure, you could make the case in the beginning of his career that he had no help whatsoever of an offensive line by the previous regime of general manager Ryan Grigson. You can make that argument all day long, and it's a valid argument. That's not where I was coming from at it. I saw a guy that was kind of broken, not just physically, obviously. He has many physical ailments, including the shoulder injury that kept him out 2 seasons ago, the entire season. He also apparently had a punctured lung at one point in his career, not too long ago. There's just a lot of injuries that piled up for him. And it was time for him to just walk away. And also mentally, that could be very debilitating to you when you're playing at such a high level for a good amount of your young adult life, including college, including high school, and you got a good start into the NFL. It can be very taxing on you. We don't know what goes in, day in out with quarterbacks, especially at that high of a level, and as talented as Andrew Luck is. We don't know. So I'm not going to mention the ones that took the awful take of criticizing him for retiring at his age that he did. The only valid criticism that you could make is the timing of it, that it happened just as the season was about to get underway. That's the only real criticism you can muster here for Andrew Luck, is just the timing of it. But the Colts are not in the worst position in the world. They do have a reliable backup in Jacoby Brissett. That's not to say that I think the Colts are going to be any better off without Andrew Luck, but they will not be bottom dwellers. So I'll put it that way. They're not going to be at the bottom of the heap in the AFC, not even the NFL, really. But again, Andrew Luck decides to retire. That is his choice. More power to you, Andrew. I hope and wish the best for you going forward. And just don't pay attention to anybody else that decides to criticize you for the retiring at the age that you are, because, hey, they just want to get the attention of making a bad take for criticizing somebody retiring on their own terms. Time for the segment that does not see everything as a political issue, thankfully. Do you remember?
You remember?
Remember the days of Shaq and Kobe for the Los Angeles Lakers? Well, I remember those days, being a Laker fan and an unabashed Laker fan here on this channel. But it's getting brought up again, mainly because of comments that Kobe Bryant made in an Instagram video. And I'm just going to thumb through that right here with you. Quote, "He'd be the greatest of all time for sure," referencing Shaquille O'Neal. "He'd be the first to tell you that. This guy was a force like I have never seen. It was crazy. A guy at that size, generally guys at that size, are a little timid and they don't want to be tall, they don't want to be big. Man, this dude he did not care. He was mean, he was nasty, he was competitive, he was vindictive, I wish he was in the gym. I would have had blanking 12 rings." To which Shaq's reply on that Instagram post, quote, "You would have had 12 if you passed the ball more, especially in the finals against the Pistons. #facts. And then adding another comment later in the Instagram video, quote, "You don't get statues by not working hard." Well, rest assured, Kobe's going to get a statue. Shaq, yes, you've got your statue already. I don't know why he's going to be bringing up statues, but it was just funny to see. The point in that quote that Kobe was making is that it wasn't to say Shaq was out of shape because of his size. Sure, we all made the comments when Shaq was in his heyday with the Lakers, and even before that with the Magic a little bit, but definitely with the Lakers, that if he put in the effort that other guys were doing day in and day out, especially with free throws, for example, there's a possibility and likelihood that the Lakers would have a lot more titles together as the Shaq and Kobe era in the early 2000s. Ask any Laker fan, they'll obviously agree with that. Ask any basketball fan, and they will absolutely agree with that as well. Even as much as they painfully hate to admit it, they don't want to see the Lakers winning championships, except if you're the NBA. You love seeing that because, hey, more money for everybody all the way around. If the Lakers are successful and the Celtics are successful, especially at the same time, everybody makes money. But looking back at this era, it's not without any kind of insane idiocy, you want to call it, to try to drum up some kind of controversy between these two. Yes, they did despise each other for a time. Yes, it was very painful to watch at times, but in the long run, they both even admitted it to themselves that yes, they should have put past their differences, put it aside, and for the betterment of the team especially, not only for their careers, but the team, to win more championships. And to throw up the tweet that Kobe Bryant had put out after this video was released and everybody started to gain some momentum in the realization that Kobe sorta maybe criticized Shaq, even though he really didn't. Quote, Kobe Bryant, "There is no beef with Shaq. I know most media want to see it, but it ain't gonna happen. Ain't nothing but love there, and we too old to beef anyway." So I thought that was pretty funny. And then Shaq's response to that, quote, "It's all good, bro. When I saw the interview, I thought you were talking about Dwight," meaning Dwight Howard. And he adds, "Is that how you spell his name? LOL." Of course, he's referencing Dwight Howard, who has now recently been brought back to the Los Angeles Lakers because of the injury to DeMarcus Cousins getting a torn ACL. But again, you see what Shaq did there in that tweet. He still has a beef with Dwight Howard, and that is more legitimate than any beef with Kobe Bryant, which there is none. It's over with. Let's move on, folks. My feel-good story this week is that, hey, football's back. I'm repping the legitimate NFL jersey from the Niner heyday with Patrick Willis, who has since been retired for many years now. I think he's going to be eligible first ballot Hall of Famer the next go-around for the NFL Hall of Fame, but I hope he gets in the first ballot. I don't see it happening, but again, that's beside the point. Football's back. College football starting this weekend. You've got the NFL first game starting this coming Thursday, and then their first week of action in Sunday and Monday. You got a doubleheader on Monday as well for Monday Night Football. It's just great. It's fantastic time to be a sports fan, not just for football, if football's not your thing. If you like baseball, October's right around the corner. Postseason baseball's ramping up. The basketball season's going to start up again. Hockey season's coming. It's a lot of stuff happening here in the very near future, and I will cover all of it for you as best I can on this channel and also at westthesportsguy.com. Again, I can't stress it enough. Bookmark that site if you want to get the NFL previews, basketball, hockey, baseball postseason. All that stuff is coming to you at westthesportsguy.com. Use the hashtag #OneOnOneWest. Until then, I will see you next time.